Enemy team score.
All right, everyone, we are back, and oh boy, me and Dave are tangled up in some cables over here, but okay, so we're on the Bravo stream now, people. We got some C9 versus Shopify Rebellion, and I am excited for this one because C9, only team, Dave, coming into this event that made a change, ended up removing, I believe it was Tusk.
Tusk for Manny.
Tusk for Manny, which I gotta say, Manny, great pick for them overall. Just Manny's such a talented player, but so close to Worlds, so close to needing to qualify. It's gonna be a tough one.
It is tough. I mean, there's many teams when I think of past years where you start to pray, you know, go through pros and cons of what roster you should bring into the penultimate tournament.
Yeah.
You start to go, well, this person has missed many points.
Yep,
And you start to say, this person's arguably better, and we can maybe go further.
Yeah.
And I've made decisions in both directions, I'll be honest with you.
I know. You turned your back on a lot of friends, Dave. You know, you're a monster of a person, but that's okay. It's a conversation for another time, maybe for the book. Maybe for the book, you know? All right, it's going to be an OS grab here by Sab. You're going to try and see if he can do something with this one here, but the pressure coming in from Cykul. And I have been eager to commentate anything but Shopify since this team has just found that you know, second level, that next level, if you will. A team that we knew had the capability, right? Mental being a prolific Gears of War player in his own right, having tasted success in that arena before. Halo, much different beast here, but you got yourself three phenomenal players on this team. You know, Cykul was the talk of the town last season, I recall. You know, this new player that was really just shocking everyone, you know, with how talented he was. So yeah, this C9 team has got a lot of work ahead of them here, dealing with Shopify Rebellion.
But they got to a great start.
That's true.
For that work, you know, up 73 to 29. Manny up, somehow living, getting away over towards Sewer. Eventually spotted out. I believe that's suppressed to eventually took him down. But they're doing just great right now, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, they really are. It's just straight up like they're holding down, you know, their two sites, right? They started things off nicely. They were able to get themselves 4 down at the break of this one before we started commentating. And when they got that 4 down, that's what they were able to build upon. Since then, Shopify has been really struggling to be able to find any kind of opening whatsoever to be able to crack that egg and get into the action here. But they still have 39 points. They just got to stop the bleeding here, which they do manage to do so briefly by going after C, but that is going to get stopped immediately there by, I believe, by Sab. So you got 2 players looking to now make this push happen over towards C side. You also have OS is going to be coming up in just short of 15 seconds.
Look at this fear from Cykul. Cykul has been here this entire time, waiting for someone to make this Engine 1, Engine 2 push or play. And he has been, honestly, a non-factor for quite some time, so this better pay off as he gets to this fight. Runs into 3 players at Engine 2. And you got to say, with the result of that, not the right play.
No, that did not work out.
Yeah, with how it played out. Now, could things have done differently? Could something been envisioned differently? Could a player have popped up earlier? Sure, there's many ways that could work, but with the result of that one, you got to say that was the correct play.
And look at the way that Shopify have just been pinned in C with the result of that one, Dave. It has been pure C9 control the entire time. Great calls, though, starting to come through. You're starting to see where C9's putting that effort, putting that attention. Here comes the press now. Good cleanup on one. That's going to be 2 players down now, but he's dealing with all of his teammates starting to come up here, so he can't really do anything. He's got eyes on B, but Sab's going to try and beat her to make that stop happen, and he pokes his head at the worst possible time for Suppress, forcing him to have to double back out of this one.
Yeah, this is tough here. Suppress saying, well, you have to go a complete different route. Now that someone's over at Nest, you can't go across that top catwalk. You need to go back towards inside to become a part of the fight. Looks like Bunker's going to be the new target. And I like this. Just decides to push in, get the finish. Doesn't take any nade damage, but there is somebody over towards top tower or something. That damage was hitting Suppress from nearby, and it was not a thrust.
Yeah, well, opening opportunity here, though, for Shopify Rebellion, thanks to a few of those big plays from C suppress pull-off just a second ago that we were talking about, Dave. And SoulSnipe now gets that B control. So with B and A in their hands now, they're going to try and see if they can give C9 a taste of their own medicine here. But look out, though, because Sceptify is going to start to make this push happen. He gets 1 kill on suppress there. 2 players are going to be lingering about over to that bunker tower side, and they're going to flip A right away. So that control, that Shopify Rebellion, we're hoping to be able to execute on, ends up falling flat on its face, courtesy of C9.
An interesting play there from Manny as they had even or had numbers. He decides to push towards his back bunker and just make sure nobody either spawns there or nobody can flank through. And just like that, he spots 2 players coming through engine 1. And here comes the pinch in from Cloud9. They get 1 player, second one about to go down, but just that back and forth between Manny and Mental, both lives going out.
But C9 able to get over shield. Only player, though, is going to be left alive is Sceptify with that OS. The flip comes through for B. Now they're going to try and use this over shield to see if they can make this push happen towards toward A. But the problem is that you got a couple cutoffs that are being covered over here. So you need to execute and remove some of these players from the situation if you can, which opens up opportunities for them to be able to lock up A site there. Watch out for B. Cykul's going to be in a big fight there against Sab. Sab comes out on top, so you don't really need Sceptify in that engagement after all. And this is now going to be a firm trip cap here for Cloud9. They have dominated this Strongholds game from the beginning, Dave, honestly, and they are showing no signs of slowing down. Look at C9 go.
And look at this play by Sceptify, pushing all the way over here to have the second angle on Nest side, just to see when these players are going to push to Whitehall. This might be, you know how I was given that like argument earlier in the previous match where I was like, you almost never want to be Nest once you have control of it.
Yeah.
This could be a good argument against that, where teams all the way over at bunker side, they have A, and you want to just have that second angle for anyone trying to push out and come out from Whitehall.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, though, but I mean, like, for a hot minute, right, in H5, we were playing pistols on this, and I mean, yeah, you could hit pistols from those distances, but not really as effectively as you can with, you know, this weapon, with the Bandit, right? I mean, unless I'm tripping, but...
No, yeah, long-range fights are, like, there's really arguably no long-range fight here on this one.
Yeah.
That's out of Bandit range.
But that angle,
range
that angle in particular over toward B, I've been seeing a lot of players take advantage of that because they just get like 3-4 shots on people that are going to start to make their way toward that back hall. And that has basically just been a pure domination from Cloud9. 250 to 69. Not something I thought we would ever see happen here, especially with Shopify.
I mean, you go look into the start of the series and you look at these 2 rosters, you say this is likely a Shopify 3-0.
Yeah.
But we are in for a series, GB. I cannot wait to see how they play out the rest of these games.
Yeah, neither can I. That is not the result that I was expecting, but I got to give flowers to Sceptify. He was great in that one. When Shopify were able to get their B and C control, or sorry, the B and A control, keep flipping those two, but the B and A control, right? Sceptify was the guy that was the tip of the spear that pushed them forward and gave them that opportunity to be able to fight and contest for A and not allow them to get comfortable on a double cap. And instead, they were able to play off of that and lead that into a trip cap of their own. And just look at the damage that he was doing in that one as well. I mean,
most damage in the lobby. That's a great call out there from Sceptify, just being a part of so many things. But with that, we'll let these teams get game number 2 ready. I believe we'll be seeing a recharge Slayer for game number 2, and we'll be right back.
All right, let's go ahead and do this one the right way, shall we? Map number 2 starting here. And something to note here that we didn't talk about before, Cloud9 up in this series. This is going to be this new Cloud9's debut here at HCS Salt Lake City. So we're potentially seeing this C9 team find themselves on the main stage here, playing against, you know, a team that has had such a run this year. So for C9, this game, this series, this could be big for them. If they win this, I mean, who knows? And they're already up 1-0 in this series.
Yeah, there's not much of a better feeling than when you unfortunately have to make roster changes, or when roster changes happen, you start to see some form of immediate success. Like taking down a roster like Shopify would be that immediate success if they were somehow able to do this.
And these are all, you know, 4 players who have been through this song and dance before, Dave. You know, they found that success, you know, whether it was Manny in his career, you know, when he was on Native, right? That top run that they had on coming out of Worlds last year, or was it 2 years ago? Time's elusive now. You know, you got Svspector, who's been in the game for God knows how long, runner-up also for a World Championship. Like, you know, these are guys who have been in the game for a long time, and while Sab and Sceptify also have accolades to on their own right, these are no slouches whatsoever. So this is going to be a tough series, no matter how you take it. These are guys who play against each other all the time, players on the come-up, and they're trying to find, you know, what are going to be the pieces that take them to that next level. And I'll tell you, a guy like Manny certainly does provide that opportunity for you with the success and experience that he has. But look at that there, beautifully done, by the veteran Svspector, who was able to pick himself up a massive frag out of that one. And that actually ties things up here, and he's been hitting these shots with the shock.
Yeah, he's been doing it all right here, and there he gets some more damage, but there's too many people in control that this could be dangerous if Cloud9 just roll on in. They can just walk into getting baited into 2v1s or 3v1s. Just because one player's weak there doesn't mean it's the right play. And somehow snags it right in front of him.
That was beautiful. Well done by Svspector to just yoink that away from, I don't know who it was on Shopify, but even though they were able to get their pound of flesh, still, that was absolutely hilarious. Well done there. 16-18 though, the total score is Shopify Rebellion. Now Cykul is going to be isolated here. Doesn't have any help. He actually doesn't have Mental down low, who's also going to be in a bit of a pickle by himself. Is anyone going for the push? Actually, Mental ends up getting the kill out of that, and that is going to be a 3-player collapse there that ended up working out beautifully for Shopify Rebellion, giving them a 3-kill lead now.
And Cykul just still roaming over here towards back Hydro, trying to see what the player's coming at. Now he knows it's coming from control, and he's going to see if he can do any damage here before he's taken out. But look at this.
That's 2.
Somehow able to go 2 for 2 there. Suppressed and Cykul in a 2v3 scenario goes even in kills.
Two for 2, but or rather a 2 for 1 there while one shot as well. Let's not forget that too. Like, that is just way to play your life in that situation here. Manny, though, pushes up on the Cykul, doesn't give him room to breathe. Shock Rifle's going to be up for grabs here, so Manny's going to manage to pick that one up yet again. 23-27. 1 round of Slaves gives Cloud9 an opening into this game. Maybe 2 or 3 kills here, as a matter of fact, could very well be exactly what they were looking for. But look at the way that Shopify, while not giving Manny any of those angles at all to be able to get that Shock Rifle online.
Yeah, like these plays when we've seen through the red pipe entrance, so many players are now just aware of dodging that grenade as it goes flying into there, so they're not just running right back into it from someone throwing it from World. We saw it earlier from tapping buttons. We see it here from Manny. And there's the one-shot player.
Wow.
Dodges that grenade barely, but
better thank the noob combo there for that one.
Yes.
Thank the green gun out of that one there, Dave. That just bailed him the hell out, because he'd be dead with this Shock Rifle if that was the case. But yet Manny still plays his life, gets a kill for that one, and I would say that was a great way to, you know, play that whole spawn up there. And now that leads to a camo pickup for Shopify Rebellion. And yet again, I mean, even though Svspector was able to yoink that last time, Cloud9 couldn't really do anything with that power-up. Now that Shopify have it in their hands, let's see if they can manage to work this into a bit of a lead here. It's only going to be 1 kill that separates C9 and Shopify. Cykul does manage to find 1 target there. It's going to be low, and he is out of here. Suppress gets the cleanup onto Sceptify. They see exactly where these players are going to be. So here comes the push-up now. Beautiful nade placement there. Removes Sab. Cykul gets another. Maybe finds himself a triple, but never mind. The support's coming in, and Cykul's going to need to back away from that one.
Feels like when one member of Cloud9 falls, multiple members of Cloud9 fall, and that could be looked as a good or bad thing. Could be seen as them overcommitting in situations they don't need to, or could be seen as, hey, when one gets in a fight, they're all getting in a fight, and they're fighting together.
Now, of course, Cykul going to continue to hold this long haul presence here with that battle rifle too. Very well work out for him. You can see where Cloud9 are starting to set themselves up. They're getting ready for a potential big push here. And there's 2 kills actually coming through for Shopify. And that is not what Cloud9 wants right now. Camo's going to be coming up in 30 seconds. Look at the way the Cykul repositioning himself inside of the control room. And also playing here by Hydro side, which is just going to give them a nice opening to be able to push for that power item. But they had to remove that problem from the equation, and they do just that. Still going to be a 2-kill lead here for Shopify Rebellion. as Mental and company now. They were trying to play off of Cykul's great rotation, but Cloud9 even better in isolating and removing him from there. Here comes that camo, though. Does anyone just go in there and grab it willy-nilly? You got two players from C9. They're going to be lingering about that there. Sab gets a kill onto Cykul. Look for Sceptify here, but the help coming in. Massive help there for Svspector, keeping his teammate alive, and that is going to lead to Cloud9 getting themselves the camo. Very well played, and on top of that, too, they can now play off of this camo, because last time they got it, they died instantly.
Ooh, tie game, camo in hand. Now let's see that shock rifle. How is this going to come play? Is he not just going straight up for it?
Yeah, he does
I guess
not
he
know
just sees too many people over at glass and does not want to get involved in that fight.
Enemy team nearing victory.
Good job to remove him from the equation here. 40-39 now. Manny, big kill there as well. He gets the help from Svspector. You can see Mental and them starting to make that rotation happen. Pipes are going to be clear completely.
They collapsed on pipes, but the one route they didn't cover was the pipe to whirl spot.
Oh, man.
Two people came in through bat ledge, and that's just interesting because that's the one spot where you're like, all right, if they're going to flood out of here, it's going to be this spot.
But you know what, though, Dave? I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing a really confident Cloud9. This is a team that is showing no fear against Shopify, and as they shouldn't. You want to be able to contend with the best in this tournament. You got to be able to remove a massive stick there from Svspector, and Sceptify, ends up getting the follow-up there. So that is going to lead to a 5-kill lead here for Cloud9. Shopify Rebellion certainly going to be licking their wounds after this one. That is not what you thought would have happened looking at the way that Rebellion were playing the midpoint of this game, but it all came off of that one camo play, that great setup that we were seeing from C9. Removing Cykul from that equation, back by Hydro, open up the floodgates for them, and now they're in a prime position here. They got good angles, overlooking that camo as well, Dave. This could very well be a C9 2-0 if they keep playing like this.
And I like this play a bit here. Svspector and crew over in the elevator, and either of them were hiding for, were revealing for a second.
Yeah.
I like that because it baits somebody. They can just walk and whirl into an unsuspecting 2v1. Also, as camo comes out a little closer, they can actually get damage right before the actual camo when they reveal, and then grab that camo.
Look at all that info that Manny just gave them. They know exactly where these players are going to be, which is why he's making his way over here, but he does find one. Oh no, he's got to be able to get this kill, and it's a trade out, but you're okay with that. 46-41, but you're not okay with that.
You're not that okay with it.
You're not that okay with it, but you're okay in that if you got him the trade and another trade works on your favor, instead Cykul is able to get a kill from that, and that leads to just like, I keep saying it, one round of slays, and you got yourself an opening here, so they got to make sure that they're trading this out each and every time, Dave.
Yeah, I can't tell if meta's evolving enough where it's like camo's just too predictable to go from batteries to top gold or something, but like just going pipes just feels like almost always a wrong play to me, entering there unless somebody's already weak or you know, it's just a grenade magnet in that location. So I'm surprised they went there, but 49-45, one answered kill there. What are Cloud9 and Sab going to do get this last one?
He's by himself. He's isolated, but if he gets this one shot, that'll be the game over here. He looks for the target, but doesn't find it. He said those teammates are going to be on there. Manny's on the prowl. He's got eyes on someone. He's trying to make some moves happen here, but Sab, with that shock rifle, could very well be the one that ruins the day of Shopify here. Looking for him. There goes Svspector. Suppress, excuse me. Everyone's got an S in their name now, but Sab, though, trying to back out of this one. He's getting some tags.
He got a tag, yes.
Oh, and he gets the shot. Actually, his teammate was there for the pickup, and that is going to do it. 50-47. Cloud9 are up 2-0, Dave, over Shopify Rebellion here in pools.
This is going to undoubtedly, if they can continue to be the upset of pool play,
the ramifications.
Potentially one of the upsets of the tournament. We're going to have to see if Cloud9 can continue this, but they are playing out of their minds right now. What a great first LAN series for this crew, and I cannot wait to see what they do in game number 3. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. How dare you?
Round 1. Ball incoming.
All right, we are back. Cloud9 up 2-0. Your eyes do not deceive you, folks, because Shopify Rebellion struggling to be able to get themselves in this series, and those critical moments, C9 with Manny on the roster have really found themselves in the series.
Yeah, and it's been, obviously game number 2 was insanely close. It was like 47, but game 1, just a one-sided affair.
Yeah.
Every step of the way, it felt like
8 or something like that.
Cloud9 were just in better positions, fighting more fights. One thing I also kind of noticed from Cykul, from Shopify, is there's many times where he's like kind of back on these flank spots, setting up traps, and players have been falling in the traps.
Yeah, that's true.
At least a couple times we've been as POV. Whether it was back towards Engine 1 on interference, or whether it was him back towards Hydro over on recharge, just people are not falling into these traps he set up as he's going to these flanks. And what a play, the stick and translocate out. That is frustrating.
Yeah, that really is. But all that, though, Cloud9 able to get 26 points off the board there and some good, decent control. But now you're going to see the tables turn here as SoulSnipe's going to have that ball, bring it over here toward tower side. That's what Cloud9 were doing just a second ago. And even though they only have 2 shots in that sniper, Mental's got his hands on it, so he's good for 1 at the very least with it. And he does get the body shot onto 1, so is anyone there for the pickup? He's looking for eyes on the next player, though, and that is going to be Cykul taking out Sab, moving him. And there's your second. So 2 bullets in that sniper, and he puts both bullets to great use to try and open things up here on the tower side. Ball is going to be played as a result, and that is Shopify with control yet again.
And Shopify gonna eventually push this one over towards Big Door, but looks like there's too many players over at Nest, and so this ball is going to be stuck in Garage. If Cloud9 are able to get these kills, they're gonna be rewarded with ball time, and there it is. That's gonna be 3 fallen. Cykul, the only one left, and where is he at?
Setting up a flank.
Setting up a little bit of a flank. Over at scoreboard. He's gonna fall down, and this is gonna be staggered deaths. That's gonna be even tougher for Shopify. Do they wait for everyone to come up to push and try to get the stop? And looks like they are going to push regardless. I actually don't disagree with that play, but we'll have to see how it turns out.
Great job with the translocator there. Sceptify is going to get out of dodge with that, and that just continues to add to Cloud9's total here. That was overall a brilliant play, and C9 managed to get themselves the camo again. So this is just spelling doom and destruction here for Shopify Rebellion. They need to try and just force C9 into bad positions here. They need to try and remove these power items from their hands and also just get control of this map, because as it stands right now, it doesn't feel like Shopify have much in the way of control. And their Cykul kind of exposed yet again by himself there. Not really much that he could contribute in those situations. He kind of got put between a really bad spot there. And SoulSnipe's also going to be sharing the same fate, but suppressed with a quick 2. Is actually going to turn things around for Shopify Rebellion, being able to give them an opportunity to maybe try and see if they can find their way into this series, into this map here with this ball control.
And let's see, last time they tried to rotate the over towards Big Door and get a ball over towards back range where they can actually get a play ball. Last time they were stopped. Can they make it this time? But that's going to be Sniper falling from Cykul. 3 down. Oh my God!
And it's a triple kill for zMannny, and you gotta say, man, if Cykul would have just dipped out of that in that situation, you don't put the sniper in Manny's hands, you don't lead to that 2K, and maybe Cykul could play his life a little bit longer here. That is gonna be a heartbreaker for Shopify.
Enemy team nearing.
But C9 are looking fan-freaking-tastic. He finds himself another body shot, and even though he gets cleaned up by a grenade, the damage has certainly been done, 80-33. Being said, though, Shopify Mental is able to get that ball control in his hands here. And look at Manny, the new pickup for this team. 13 kills at the start here of round 1, Dave.
Just look at all the success that all these players are having from the previous KCP native gaming roster. You look at someone like Manny, you look at SoulSnipe leading kills for his team. Talik and Druck just absolutely crushing it over on their roster. Like up here, it's just all these players. And this is sometimes rare. Sometimes you'll see 1 or 2 just go on to find success, but all of them are just still absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, all 4 of those players in that native KCP roster, they were special for sure. And you're starting to see the fruits of their labor really start to pay off here in the HCS. Cykul now with that translocator trying to get back into the action here, see if he can find something, but no one's really going to be giving him an opportunity. If he does decide to hit that translocator again, he might be ending back at green, but he's not going to. It's going to burn out as a result of that. And he's actually going to end up getting scooped up there. Ball's still going to be up for grabs right in front of the garage here, big garage door. There goes another camo pickup for C9. They have been dominating the power item game in this map, Dave, and it is not even close.
Yeah, Manny's just been on top of all of these. Got those spikes. He has been spotted out, and what a almost brilliant play there, but suppressed. Knew something was up. Ends up trading out with Manny, which I'd say at this point, I'll take a trade with Manny any day of the week.
That's true, especially
if
when he's
you
playing
take
like
him
this.
out for just a moment in time.
When he's playing like this, it's quite crazy. A little bit of shenanigans, if you will. And just look at the way that they're playing this one, man. It's just been so well executed by Cloud9. giving Shopify no quarter to be able to get into this one. As Mental and Cykul still fighting in this cave battle here, but that ball's long gone. Spector's going to get out of dodge with this one, and just a brilliant job handing it over to his teammate, being like, hey, you know what, let's just go ahead. You handle this business over here. I'll handle the business out here, but never mind. You got the coverage there. You almost played ball, but they actually could win off of this.
Yeah, almost lucky that they didn't play ball there. Bringing it all the way down to Cykul.
Oh, man.
One of those sneaky plays ends up paying off. And we're going to have to see, can they actually get a setup here where they hold it for a long amount of time and then also, or get that play ball? Because what's happened almost every other Shopify setup is that they scoop up a decent amount of time, they get 10 to 20 seconds, but then Cloud9 get the kills and then they get the ball. They don't get a play ball.
He's got to win this. Though he didn't get to play the ball, Dave. The ball's out on the ledge. He thought that the repulsor was going to be enough to be able to send it off, but instead it wasn't. And now that gives Cloud9 an opportunity to be able to win this one here and now. But instead, you're going to see one of the members of Shopify there for the stop, and he's able to catch it for the interception. And that is going to basically be the round here as Cloud9. They're continuing on their winning ways, and that is round one for C9.
Even in a position where they should have gotten the play ball, like you brought up, GB, I was like, hey, the play balls and the rotations haven't been working out for Shopify. And that is costly. You know that the rest of the players on Shopify were setting up for the play ball, and then all of a sudden panic sets in. They say, we got to charge over to Mud. We got to do it now.
And he looked over. He was like, oh, crap, that did not go off the map. You can see it there, but oh, wait a minute. A double kill off the rip here for SoulSnipe is going to pick off two members of C9, though. And they got that quantum translocator traded out there by both of the members, one with the sniper, the other one with the translocator. Mental, though, is able to scoop up that ball. They want to go and see if they can get those power weapons, though. Sniper's still going to be down, but C9 could very well find themselves in possession of that yet again here. Shopify managed to get themselves a camo here. It's one of the first ones that they were able to get. And look how smart C9 is on the hunt, not giving this camo player an opening, even though it cost him some bodies in that exchange. Oh, Sceptify ended up getting juked a little bit there, sent down to the water. But that ball was played.
Ball played, but 23 points. That's a great start there for Shopify here in this game number 3. And they don't really have much room for error. They have to win this round here, then win another round, and then win 2 more games. So their work is just getting started for them.
A reverse sweep is in the cards here for Shopify Rebellion, but it is going to be difficult with C9 playing the way that they are. And they got snipe control again. Ball's going to be in a decent-ish position. Look at the way that Manny's controlling key door. Body shots galore for him there, too. He's just continuing to put pressure onto Rebellion. Sceptify now going to see if he can get involved in this exchange, but they're now going to push together. They know that they got these players backed up over towards grass. There's going to be one pickup there. And look at the way that they're working together and pushing their advantages in this map. And even in situations where they don't have advantages, they're trying to create those opportunities here. And they're keeping themselves nimble. They're not really allowing Shopify to get comfortable with some of those call-outs. There goes a play ball, and that is basically the, again, you got Shopify who managed to get ball out of there, Dave, and they can't do anything with it.
No, they eventually get over towards the tower, like you said, where they wanted it, but somehow Mandy just slips on in. But it does seem like they're slowing him down a bit more. They've been going about even with Manny here on out. He still has that +8 or +9 KD right now. But you got to keep in mind he's had that for a while. He was something like 12-4, 12-5. He was just popping off at the very start of game or round number 1.
But look at the help that we just saw Svspector get there from Sab. Svspector was one shot, recognized this was not going to be a winnable fight for him. He backs away from it. Sab gives him the coverage. They get ball control. And then on the other side of the map, you got Manny. Oh, hey, look at that. I'll just go ahead and pick up this camo because it's been working out for us this far. That's the first camo that they were able to get in this round as well. They know pressure is starting to come from behind here. As Manny is trying to isolate this player, but he cannot. So
also,
well done.
Smart play by Cykul.
I agree.
Just that timing. He's clearly been in many situations before where he's gotten shot from cuts or gotten shot from key door, and he's like, all right, I'm going to wait here for the first 4 seconds to get my shields back. Now that I know silo side's clear, I'll go towards there. And just played that masterfully.
Yeah, Cykul's been, I shouldn't say hit or miss, but there have been some moments where you're like, Cykul's kind of just been caught off on his own. Mostly because he's trying to set up a play, but when he does set up those plays, it looks beautiful. It works out really well for Shopify. Thing is, though, you got to put this together in the scoreboard here, and it is not working out for Cloud9, not at all. Svspector, though, trying to get out with that sniper rifle. He's got help there from Sceptify. Gets the stick on the guy who turns around from him. It's going to be 2 down on each side of the field here. Cykul, big battle. He's going to win that one against zMannny. Ball's still going to be up for grabs down low, though. You got 3 members of Shopify with eyes on it. SoulSnipe's going to be up on the spawn, and Cykul's trying to put as much work as he possibly can out here toward the camel side of the map, thus giving Shopify that opening to be able to get that ball out toward that tower side.
Cykul trying to create that push through onto the backside. Just trying to take a bit more ground, but not as successful as we've seen in the past. These players on Cloud9 are shooting and playing hot right now.
Yeah.
And that lead that started off with the 23-point lead for Shopify is now 10-point deficit. And ball back in the hands of Cloud9.
With no signs of slowing down. You know, like even when they're in these, when they're down, right? They still manage. Oh, you can't translocate out of that one. That's unfortunate, but great play ball out of that one. And they will open up the map again. So Shopify, they know that they have these players pinned toward green. You got to make moves here. You got to get that pressure onto Cloud9 because so far it has been C9's game. I love the way they move around the map here, Dave.
Yeah, that's one thing that's also easy to take for granted as we just watch so much high-level Halo play. It's just like the way that they're able to so quickly every single time know where they're going to jump up for the next little ledge, hit their next G-slide, move to the next spot. Like, they just are so quick with it.
And, I mean, Sceptify, off of the spawn, chucks 3 nades over, is going to stop a little bit of that forward momentum there for Shopify, and he's just smartly enough moving around this map. There's another play ball. Are they set up for it, though? Is Shopify prepared? Seems like they are. They got 2 players down now. 1 player down, excuse me. Looking for another one. That ain't going to happen. Brilliant use there of the repulsor. That plasma would have ended him if he wasn't careful, and because of that, 1 single play with the repulsor leads to 1 kill there, and some more pressure being added, maybe even a second. Does manage to find it. It's going to be 3 down now for Cloud9. An opportunity here for Shopify to be able to get themselves into this one as they take the lead.
All right. They have the ball over towards Keydor. What are they going to do with this? I feel like one mistake we've been seeing before is missing of those play balls, and they continually seem to bring this ball into a spot where it's do or die. And right there, it's die for SoulSnipe. Kills trade out, but neither team is in a comfortable spot where they can just grab this scoop up time. It's going to be a slay game over there at the garage for now, and fighting is going to continue.
The amount of sticks that we've been seeing on this map, Dave, has been quite fascinating. I think it's like 3 or 4 so far that we've gotten in this. Ball's still going to be up for play, and you're right, though. There have been some moments, Dave, where you're really
the reset.
You're really trying to identify what that plan is. What are you gonna try and do? And you know they're trying to bring that over toward green side. The issue is that they every single time, right? C9 put themselves in a position where they don't make that rotation to green comfortable for them, right? And now you got C9 yet again, sniper control. You have translocator too. But you got to hit those shots though.
Ball dropped. Enemy has the ball.
What is Svspector going to do here? Only 2 bullets left. Surprised he didn't reload and just decide to fire off his last 2. He's going to fire off one of them and let someone else do the dirty job of reloading that weapon.
Yeah, he was anticipating a potential push here from 2 of the players. Now here comes the push. They're going to bring this one around and get it out toward the pillars. He does so, but it's going to go into the loving hands of Mental. He's going to bring this one back toward the mud. And by the way, Suppressed, we got to give him, big shout out to him. 27 kills he's currently working with here. He's trying to, frag his way for this team who have been able to lock up this lead here, 5 points and counting. Cloud9 got to move fast in this one. We could be going to a 3rd round, and there goes the pressure. Play ball's now activated, and that is going to push that ball down low, but C9 are ready for it.
Sceptify's already got it in hand. Where's the rotation? Looks like it's going towards pillar door and back towards mud where they just cleared that out. I like that ball, and I like that rotation. Most of the time, if you're bringing it back towards tower, you're almost exclusively going dummy door side. So that was a great play there from Sceptify. He's grabbing enough time to make sure his team has the lead, but at some point if too many people fall, you have these kills. You got to get these kills.
Massive play here. SoulSnipe's got to get this ball, get past it here. He's going to drop it. That's going to be 5 seconds. Is anyone in there? That's a little bit risky, but no one's in a position to be able to stop them, and that is going to push things forward.
These are the pros for a reason, but that was scary for me at the end there. Just only bringing it that far along. Maybe he had more knowledge than I did. Maybe he knew that they were all bags or too far away, but generally I feel like you're going to want to rotate that ball a little bit further. Just grab that extra second or 2 at a time bring it to the safe spot that doesn't have as many routes of entry.
But you know
There's
what,
just too
though?
many spots that people go down there from either pillar door
They
or
got
double door.
around, and
They
that
got
is what they need right now. Shopify needs some kind of linchpin, some kind of thing to just get them going, because so far it has been flat from the Rebellion, and C9 have looked amazing. So if they can manage to get themselves a few more of these, big rounds, these consecutive holds, right? You could be looking at a Rebellion that's starting to find their rhythm in this series.
We could. I mean, first step was shutting down zMannny, and look at the slays for zMannny. Before, he was going like +8 or so. Currently, about even. So you can tell that he has been getting shut down in comparison to the first round and a half of how he was popping off.
Yeah, he's been doing good, but it hasn't been that first round performance we saw from zMannny. And that is the reason why Shopify, I mean, not that, and on top of that, Rebellion playing some pretty good Team Halo, right? Working together in those moments where they need to. I don't think anyone really was in a position in this oddball game where they were like dominated, right? And I think that's just a testament to how closely matched these two teams are. But Shopify, this is a team that's trying to punch for, trophies. They're trying to play for the top, right? This is a squad we're still like, hey, where's Shopify on Sunday, right? All these things. Right now I'm asking the question, where's Shopify on Friday? Because this is, this is the start of the tournament. This one, on paper, should have been a gimme for you. Granted, it's C9, great team, great players, but they're coming in with a team change. You've been building up a lot of momentum throughout the course of the season. So this was a Rebellion that should be, making a victory lap over here against a C9 team that's figuring it out. And instead, we got Cloud9, which, you could argue is a new car smell thing. It's, the early team, jiving with one another. But this has looked like a diabolical squad on C9 thus far.
Yeah, and I just looked at that kill feed where I just saw zMannny take out 2 people, Spector traded out 1, so just slay after slay is looking so good for them there.
They can't move that
round
ball.
number 3.
They can't move that ball over toward green for the play ball. There was no one there to be able to cover Sceptify, so instead he's going to have to dip that over toward Keydor.
I like this play by Sceptify, though. He gets some damage, somehow stays alive, does the equivalent of a close enough play ball, tosses it over towards like Keydor down low, and still a nuisance out here. Generally, somebody out there is left for dead once they're stuck over in that garage with Sceptify finding an escape route.
And I think Camo was grabbed briefly, but I don't know if it was used, and instead it's actually going to be Cykul who gets possession of it. So can they do something with this Camo? They also have that ball as well. Cykul has been pretty solid in this series. Some moments where, we're left scratching our heads a little bit, but overall, Cykul has been the X factor for this team in those critical moments when they've needed him. So has Svspector. Got to give him, that shout out too, because he's been fantastic. Cykul's looking for this opening with the sniper. Does here, you gotta win those. No, you gotta win those, and
That's
that
tough.
is unfortunate. You hate to see it, kids, and that is going to be a play ball, but you got 2-3 members down for Rebellion.
Just such fast play there by Sceptify and Cloud9. They got that first pick and did not hesitate for a moment. Didn't let him line up that shot and just made him in a do-or-die position. And he died.
They got to play this ball, though. They got to play this ball, or else they're going to be giving up a green setup here to Shopify. And with how close this matchup has been so far, those little things are going to be the parts that kind of ruin you. But Cykul just muzzles Sab and just ends him with a melee shot right to the chest here. Ball controlled toward green. What's Cykul looking to do with this sniper?
Looking like he's going to get that first buy shot. Last time this garage door, a big door, was the problem. Just give an angle. He has SoulSnipe over there to watch that. Looking like the push isn't coming from there, because if it was coming, it was going to be there already.
Yeah,
someone
exactly.
would have poked out already. So I feel like they have to focus their efforts over towards C flat, and somehow they're caught off guard here, which is surprising to me, Gold Boy. I feel like it's pretty straightforward if they're garage and they're going to do
I
it.
agree.
Someone's going to get a little too antsy. They're going to poke out there, try to get some early shots on Nest, or try to make that push towards green. But in the end, great rotation from Cloud9. They get the kills on green. They get the kills over at Nest Bridge, and they get the stop to the setup, but that was a good 30-point run there from Shopify.
Oh, he caught him. He caught him on the cross there with that snipe. Spector has been just evil with that gun. Now, of course, suppressed here. 2 big kills for him. going to bring him up to 37 total, but they are going to be a little pinned in inside of the cave, but they manage to fight their way out of it, leaving Manny the only player left alive here. Mental gets himself the camo, and Manny looking to make a play with this ball. He gets it out of there. He was the LMS, last man standing in this situation, and he brings that ball over toward his teammate, not really allowing his camo player to get involved in the conversation. Finally, he does.
Yeah, gets that ball away from Garage, which should have been a full setup, which should have been another 10 to 20 seconds there for Shopify. Turns into an even fight now. With basically 2 on each side alive.
Enemy has the ball.
Spector finds one, gets the melee, but unfortunately for him, Halo Infinite does not want to give him that back whack there. So instead, he's just going to Mario stomp his head. You got 2 players now looking to make a push over here toward the camo side of the map. SoulSnipe though, and cannot stay alive. Sceptify beams him with a nade, and then Sab finds another. Mental was just not finding the rhythm of those shots there. Spector's been great, gets the trade, ball's still down, and well, no one's really been able to get control of this. But on the other side, you got C9 now inside of the garage, but 3 members of Shopify starting to make their push inside. Big kill there for zMannny as we got the play ball.
Play ball, but only 1 minute left in this round. It's going to be Cloud9 the ones that have to force this. Cykul was the only one live for a second, and this could be a huge setup here for C9. They have Sniper on top tower. They have ball in the hands of Manny going back towards tower. They at least got the first body shot on someone pushing towards Nest, but it's going to be a 2v4 hold. What can Manny and Sceptify do? And it looks like just die and play the ball and the sniper, both going off the map.
Spector's got a lot to do here, but he cannot get in a position to be able to stop them. 66 to 50 here. They're going to try and finish this one out, even though time is going to be ticking. You don't want to give them an opportunity to be able to find their way back into this one. And Shopify clutch this one out. Close out this map 3, maybe start a little bit of a reverse sweep potentially here, as they have been on the back foot this entire time against C9 in this series.
Have to do it now. I mean, how are Cloud9 going to get to this? They have 2 members down. Suppressed going to get this camo as Cloud9 are forced to focus on the ball, but every second that ticks away is just going to be another second that Cloud9 have to panic. They're going to try to bring that back at this round 3.
You got to be able to win this one out right here and now. 5 seconds remaining. You got to pick up that ball sometime soon. Pick it up there. Is someone there to grab it? No. 1 second remaining. Is anyone able to possess it? No, they are not, and that is going to be Shopify getting the win in map 3. A little bit of a heartbreaker there for C9 with the hot start that they had. But now Shopify put 1 on the board. They stopped the bleeding, but isn't going to be enough for the rest of the series, Dave.
I mean, it can be. This can be dangerous. This is a time where you corner one of these top teams. You feel like everything's going right, and then they get their life back in after a long game 3. And all of a sudden you start to say, okay, we got 2 chances, right?
Yeah.
But that's where the team starts to, they get in their groove. They start to feel so good. So I feel like this could be scary territory for Cloud9, but we will find out when we come back. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be back with a game number 4.
And we are back. Now, Shopify Rebellion were able to pick up the live fire oddball win now, getting their first on the board against C9 in a series that was heavily favored for Shopify Rebellion. Cloud9, though, you got to wonder, right? Were those 2 games the best that we were going to get out of this team? Or is there something left in there for them to lock up this series? Because so far, what we're seeing from Cloud9, and to kind of answer my own question, I don't think that's the case, Dave. I don't know how you feel.
I felt that we saw Shopify start to swing the momentum if we had to try to throw up that subjective term, be like, all right, they're looking better, they're doing great, but by no means is the series over. I just also don't think that this is a guarantee for Cloud9. After I saw round 1 of the oddball, I was like, man, there's a chance that Cloud9 just end this, and you want to end that as quick as you can against these top rosters. But just like that, they get the first OS, they get the first flag. They are not hesitating. Look at Manny's scoreline there. I feel like that's a rare one to see. 0-0 and then 1 flag cap.
Wild.
0-0-0 and 1.
And they're maybe putting together another one here. They got 3 members of Shopify tucked away inside of their base. They're going to have to fight their way out of this one. Mental's going to get things going, but Manny's going to see if he can contribute to it as well. So Spector on the other side takes out Cykul. Manny's going to run away with this one. Does he have the coverage? He thinks he does, and he actually does, in fact. But wait a minute, just as I say that, SoulSnipe from downtown is able to pick him off. and stop that run right in its tracks.
And Manny's just sticking with a binary score line. He's 1-0-0-0-1. Every single time he's in there, he's just going to get barely just flip one of those. And I don't know if he's sending some sort of subliminal message here. I'll have to go through it.
Okay. You can speak binary because I can't. I can barely speak English.
You know,
So.
I was gonna BS to say I could, but if you gave me an hour, I could quick look up and I'll be like, 0001 stands for B, and then 10001 stands for G.
Unbelievable. Actually, now I kind of want to learn binary, but
Wait, GB! GB,
Oh,
is that
that's
two
it. Look
letters?
at that.
It could be GB.
Okay.
He sent a message to us casters.
He's sending a message that he's a big fan of mine, and I'm okay with that because I'm a big fan of his. All right, well, now as we keep our eyes back in the action, that flag was going to get returned here. There goes the overshield pickup. Was changed. Go to the top mid here. Sceptify with 2 kills. Actually, that was 2 kills off a stick. Was that 3 kills off a stick? Did that look like a sticky animation or a melee animation? A little icon there. I couldn't tell.
I wasn't paying attention to that one right there.
There are way too many stickies in this game, all right? It's a problem.
But Sceptify is just putting up numbers so far. 8 kills, 6 assists, 2 deaths. Just be part of everything. And as we watch this POV, it's not too surprising. You just see him in the right spot at the right time. He's able to avoid anytime these players coming in, somehow able to hear all those call-outs and make the decision on the right spot to go. Sab and Nate are trying to bank that grenade and get that kill. But
he actually thought he had a sticky.
That would have been nasty if that landed right up there in that higher ledge.
If he was able to
go for that.
I thought he had a sticky there, but if he was able to get into that corner ledge, that would actually would have been quite nuts. In any case, though, there's going to be 2 down for C9 presently. As they're looking to see where this Shopify push is going to potentially be coming. You're looking at a lot of activity over toward the diamond side of the map here. Util side, whatever you want to call it. As Sceptify continues to add to his overall total, playing pretty damn well. 9 and 8 on the assist count there. Bear that in mind. Just pushing him, not giving him room to breathe out of that one. It's going to be a trade out.
I feel like we're going to continue to see Halo Infinite evolve, and you're going to see situations like that where players aren't going to go for the forced trades at some point later on. Maybe not this year, maybe not early next year, but we will see that more. But right there's a situation where Sceptify, I felt, had the lead. And, if you're playing, I would say something close to like perfect Halo, you aren't going for the trade. You're just keeping distance, landing your shots, and getting the kill.
And I was actually going to comment that I thought that sticky had ended up landing on the OS player, and it turns out it did, so it just popped off a little bit late there. That was a flagpole happening, but you're right, Dave. I think, we're going to start to see these players, especially as the bandit rate of fire changes as well. Players are really going to start to work the game in different ways, but working the map is Cloud9, as they're going to be up 2-0 here, and this is looking great for C9 as it stands. And the Manny pickup has been huge for this team with the opening that he provided them, and then Sceptify has just been lights out. Yeah,
3 nades flying right at that fridge. That has got to be tough.
You ain't living in that one, buddy. You can try as you might. You ain't going to stay alive there. Another sticky from Sceptify. You're a menace. It needs to stop. He finds him. There's going to be, I think, 2 sticky kills in this one for Sceptify. Probably like 18 in the overall series at this point.
But Manny just trying to help clear out this player. Knew somebody's over here on this pink side. Can't find him just yet. But looks like somebody has rotated over towards Util. I believe that's suppressed over there as well. Nope, incorrect on that name. But we'll find out whoever is over at the Cloud9 Util, because they're behind enemy lines, and we might, for the first chance, see if they're able to get that kill. A pull, but it's been constant Cloud9 pressure. Manny going all the way from defending as base, clearing out people on the pink side, all the way into the Shopify base. And he's looking for any fight he can be a part of. Right now, his teammates are a man down across the map. But looks like he's going to get his wish. He's going to get a 1v1 on the flag and trade out with Cykul.
Yeah, he gets a trade out, but I don't know if that's really going to play out in their favor all too much here. As Suppress is going to make this run happen with the flag. Good slide. Just get right through to that Util side. So you've cleared a little bit of that pathing now. Oh, but you weren't able to pick up that flag. Hate to see it there. Suppress now is getting pressured, and that is going to be a removal from the fight. But just as I say that, 4 down for Cloud9. This clear the way. That is going to be a capture for Shopify. They get one on the board finally.
Great defense there by Shopify, because with how many members from Cloud9 that were so close, that to me was looking like it was prime for a recovery.
For sure, and the fact that they were able to get 2 instantly as soon as, I forget who it was that was making that flagpole happen, but, you know, the fact that they did not let that flagpole, that botch pull there kind of be the thing that ruins that run. Instead, they build upon that. And look at this here, another potential run here, right through the gut. It's going to be Mental, bringing that flag through. And this could very well lead to a 2-2 scoreline here for Shopify Rebellion C9. Clawing their way back into this game. Yes, they can. And they're right back in it.
Yeah, that is huge caps from Shopify, just showing once they get control how quickly they can turn the tides. And the pressure has not stopped over at the Cloud9 base. Mental still laying down shots, trying to escape to a util. Those nades landed well, but Cykul set up one of his classic traps right over there in the courtyard. Gonna get the finish on one, but that's gonna be it as he almost turns that somehow.
Yeah, I know. 4 down, though, for Shopify Rebellion. Opportunity here for Cloud9. They want to get map control first. You got 1 round of Slays, now you got to get another round here to just try and create an opportunity. You know, that push is potentially going to be coming through from the fridge side of the map because no one's been pressuring util thus far, so Manny's probably got the read on that. And there goes one underneath. He sees another one, too. They're going to be a little weak in the knees, but I don't know if it's going to be enough there for Cloud9 to be able to build upon it and push them forward, so instead they're going to wait for the numbers to pop back up here again. But for the time being, though, job done, Dave. They're forcing them in their base. Haven't really allowed them an opportunity to be able to get out of there, even though Sceptify does go down. This could maybe be the start for them.
Absolutely. I mean, these next fights are going to determine everything right here because we saw how his first 4 minutes or so, Cloud9 favored as they were able to get the cap or two. Last few minutes, been all Shopify. They've had control of the map. They've pushed Cloud9 into their base. But who is going to get control of this next OS? Who's going to get this next grab?
This OS will be massive. We also got that BR top mid here, but look at the help that's starting to come through. Members of Shopify struggling to be able to stay up in the top mid area. SoulSnipe does get a melee onto Sab, but is that going to be enough to give them that overkill? Doesn't really seem to be the case. This cycle's going to get cleaned up. 2 down now. So again, another great opportunity for C9 to lock up that overshield, push this fight forward, see if they can get inside of that base. They were able to do it for a little while before. Find it again. Nice double kill from Sceptify. That's going to give him his 23rd total kill here. And that flagpole does happen, but it isn't going to make much ground.
That was such a late OS grab as well. So Spector eventually gets that OS. That was on the top center for about 35 seconds.
Yeah, top minute.
Until people grabbed it. Everyone was just rotating out of top pink, top car, getting shot at from the bases, rolling down low, and then rinse and repeat.
And you know what I got to say, too? Credit to Shopify in that situation because, you know, it was looking like it could have been hurting that play. But instead, they managed to, you know, take lemons and turn it into lemonade there. All right, you thought C9 were maybe going to start to run away with this, pull that flag through util, get out of there, but instead, they stopped that overshield player, and now they're starting to build upon it. It's going to be another flagpole here, an opportunity, but it's going right into the hands of Sceptify, who has been fantastic in this map thus far. Oh, look at where that he
dodged it?
Wait, he dodged that. I am
know what happened
stunned.
on that grenade, actually. That
just faded into the oblivion.
Either some sort of glitch or, yeah, that's weird because that explosion, based on what we saw there,
should have gone off.
Absolutely touched him, but
it turns out, you know, maybe the Halo gods are going to be on the side of SoulSnipe here for the day, and not that time, but hey, it was going to be enough to be able to give you 1 flag cap lead over Cloud9. You win this, you force that game 5, and then you start to put the pressure on the Cloud9, right? Then C9's like, wait a minute, did we just, you know, or we ran out of gas? Did we not have the capability to be able to lock this series up? That's when those questions are going to start to creep into your head, Dave.
That's that false sense of security, like I said before. Anytime you start to get like 2 games up on one of these top teams, or even if you win that round, you know, first round of that oddball, it's like, it's truly never over against these squads because they're just so good. And once they get in the rhythm and once you're running out of steam and you're maybe not on fire anymore, they just take over. And that's what it feels like here from Shopify. They got a new OS. We're going to see if they try to force this 4th cap. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cykul just drop and slay this anytime soon, because this could be devastating if he does this incorrectly. This could set up Cloud9 for a counter cap if he overextends here.
They brought that flag over to the other side of the map here, and Cloud9, smartly enough, is going to dump that flag down low. He's got the help. They got to make the recovery happen here, and that will give them their 4th. Do they have any eyes on it, though? Flag does get recovered. That's number 4. So Shopify with a 2-flag lead and 1 minute left on the clock here. If you are Cloud9, you got to move right now. But winning that fight was massive for Shopify. zMannny and Svspector are going to have to take a seat for the time being. 50 seconds left on this one with Shopify inside of the Cloud9 base. Dave, this is looking like we're going to Game 5.
Yeah, Cloud9's only hope right now is they need to be pushing across. They need to get slays along the way, but
fast.
every little trade like that, especially when they're jumping and getting those turn melees on you, is just going to slow that down further and further. Cloud9 need a desperate double cap attempt. That's why you see Spectre trying just to sprint into the base, but he is just cut off. He can't get in, and this is where you start to say, yeah, it's possible, but it's very unlikely.
Yeah.
Here comes the final push from Cloud9. They're in the base. They got 1 week. Can he get this trade without a ton of damage?
You got to do
Go
it.
down. He's going to get this pull, but falls. Cykul, last one alive. But one lags out here.
Ooh.
And I am glad I'm not a TO because I don't know what the ruling is on this situation. We're going to have to let the TOs do their difficult job and tell us how this one's going to play out.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the circumstances and the situation, obviously Shopify with a 2-flag lead there. You only had 10 seconds, 15 seconds left, but we're starting to see a flagpole begin to get, put into play here. So maybe it gets contested. We'll see what the TOs, what the admins have to say about it. Yeah, I mean, overall, though, if it stands, we're going to map 5, which is a testament to Shopify Rebellion really gritting their teeth and sticking with this one because it was looking like, especially coming out of that first round of Oddball, Dave, it was looking like it was going to be real bad.
Yeah.
So in any case, though, let's go ahead and we'll find out what's going on, and we'll be right back. All right, here we go. Map number 5 between Cloud9 and Shopify Rebellion. If you're just joining us here, you have missed an incredible series between 2 evenly matched teams, but more importantly than that, a Cloud9 squad with a new pickup in Manny that has really found themselves a groove that has been fun to watch. But Shopify, when they heat up, Dave, it has been problematic.
Yeah, they have been looking so good in these last 2 games. We're going to have to see if Shopify can continue this. They have a 3-1 lead, plus camo, plus shock rifle, plus center positioning. Now here comes the collapse. So many players from Cloud9 all in the same spot. 3 of them fall, make that all 4, and that's going to be a 7-2 much-wanted start there for Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, Suppress is able to pick up 2 of his own there. You saw a few that were starting to come through here for Cloud9, but it was simply not going to be enough with that collapse, and that shock rifle has been put to good use there. Drained, but you got value. It's really all that matters at the end of the day. Now as Mental just continues to patrol around here, this has been very well executed at the start here. Shopify Rebellion. And he's got to be careful as he's going to be running into a few members there, the Shopify Rebellion, but they're going to trade out those kills. And you know what, though, even if it was a 7-2 start here, it's still a pretty solid comeback here from C9 to keep this within 4. So at the very least, you can have that to hang your hat on,
Absolutely, but like you said, it was looking a little scarier before this 4-kill lead. Now it's only a 3-kill lead. We're going to see. I don't know what Shopify's push was there. It felt like they were trying to force some action. We didn't have the camo up. We didn't see the superior positioning. Maybe it was someone like Cykul had a flank just like that, who took out 2 members that they're trying to support, but back and forth these waves of players go.
Yeah, and that's going to be a few kills there for Manny. Keeps him within 3. This was looking pretty bad at the outset here. I don't think they're going to be able to contend much for that power item. This camel's going to get picked up here,
I like and prefer this, though. I like where the game's got a little pace to it. Sometimes what happens when you get to almost any Game 5 is players just get too timid and too scared to make some things happen.
Yeah.
So that's just going to be a triple kill for Cykul. Luckily, a sticky nade from Svspector to equalize that out, but damage has been done. 3 kills in favor of Shopify.
Big push coming in here now. You got 3 members of Shopify looking to punish that last player, that weakened player in Sab. So they'll clear him. They'll try and focus their attention over towards the sniper because that's going to be coming up in just a few moments here. You got 1 weak by posters to Sceptify. He tries to go in for it. He's got help, but look at the assistance that Cykul's providing. This guy has been just constantly a thorn on the side of Cloud9. Even when Shopify were losing those games, you still had Cykul. We were talking about it before. He was trying to make those plays happen where he was playing in the back line, looking to see if he can get a big flank opportunity here. It wasn't working out in the beginning, but now it is. He's picking up a lot of the garbage here, and hey, you know what? The janitor is here to clean. I love it.
There's all 4 down for Cloud9 as that new shock rifle came up. Now an 8-kill lead here for Shopify, so it feels like every single time we start to have these exchanges back and forth, Shopify pull ahead just a little further. You know, they get up by 5 or so. Cloud9 claw back a couple kills.
Exactly.
They get up, and now they're up by 6 or 7 or so.
And look at that. They were up by, I believe it was like 9 at that point. And yeah, literally what you were saying, right?
Yep, and that's just how the game goes in waves for Halo, because you're not just going to get unanswered kill after kill continually. Yes, you might have that for one short streak, but after that, it's the other team's chance to answer. They have some people weak on the map. They have more information. They have new grenades they've spawned with, and they're going to answer back with a couple kills. This
is actually a massive swing here that we're starting to see, but a turnaround there for Suppress gets the kill, but that is going to be 3 down now for Shopify Rebellion, and just at the perfect moment, too, because the camo's going to be up for grabs, so now you can start to see Cloud9 maybe build upon this here. zMannny manages to secure himself the camo. Does take some residual damage with that grenade, and he's going to get identified as a result of that. Has to get out, but he can in time. Shopify are going to punish that one right when you think C9 are going to build upon something. It gets shut down immediately by the Rebellion.
They don't make camo like they used to. It just feels like every single time a player gets camo, it doesn't matter where they're at, they just get spotted. It's almost like they're highlighted.
Well, and also in that situation, too, he gets tagged, so he's flashing a little bit with those shields, right? So you can kind of make that out, too.
Yeah, and it's the #1 target on the map as well.
Exactly.
Like,
they're all
jokes aside, they found the camo, they shot him once, and then everyone's calling out that he has got to be scurrying away near truck or going over towards Prius.
But it's still doable for C9, Dave. It was a point in time where Shopify was starting to peel away with this, and it was looking a little scary for C9. But now they're in a spot where they can very well come back. They just got to be careful not to get collapsed in these situations that, well, you know, end up playing real poorly for them. That's happened a few times now. But Shopify have no one in a position to be able to capitalize on those weakened players over toward Tram. So that is now going to lead here to a Cykul that is trapped out in the middle of the open here, and you are seeing C9 claw their way back into this one. That's going to be 2 kills there for Sceptify. He was on fire in that last series, or sorry, in that last map rather. He hasn't really been that much of a, you know, the hot hand in this Plaza game, or what do we call this now, Dave? Help me out. Solitude. That's what it's called. That's what the kids call it these days. But yeah, they're right back in this. 2 frags, and they could very well get this lead here. Rebellion's going to make it difficult.
One thing I also got to say, too, is as we saw that 8-kill lead for Shopify, I started to think, like, it's kind of over. Like,
yeah.
Jover.
Yeah, Jover status.
Not quite the case. Cloud9 somehow able to even that up besides being down by 8 not too long ago. And not like they had any sort of massive weapon or run. Manny's camo got neutralized. I haven't seen the shock rifle be in this big swing right now.
Doing it the hard way.
It's just Cloud9, yeah, doing it the good old-fashioned hard way.
And they managed to get that camo again. And look at those kills starting to come through now. That's a lead, the first one that Cloud9's been able to get in this 10 kills left, and it couldn't happen at a better time. And then you have Svspector with the camo, and he's just going to be able to look around and find out where these players are. And he identifies them.
And let's be real, he's been using about half this camo just kind of navigating around top center and over near posters.
My word.
He hasn't really been a big factor in this, but now he has shock. He has to know they're over at Blue/Hotel, and he is just looking. He sees the spawn there too. Cloud9 have no fear. They've been charging in on these fights.
Now, this was a similar situation that Cloud9 found themselves in just a little while ago. They were pinned right in this position in blue. Same thing, shock rifle beaming down on them, looking at them. But Cloud9 fought out of it. Can Shopify Rebellion do the same here? Managed to start one off against Manny, but Svspector finds a clean shot there against Mental. 3 players still tucked away inside of blue. You got time ticking here, but really, Cloud9 have all the time in the world here. They can just wait this one out as much as they possibly can. 4-kill lead, and look at the position that Sceptify is in. That could be diabolical, potentially. Big tag there, too. No one there on the other side, so they're kind of leaving this side of the map open. That, you know, the garden side of the map open for them.
Yeah, also a little scary here that during this position, they've slowed it down a little too much. I wonder how when we saw Cloud9 being active and aggressive, you saw things swinging back in their favor. Now we're back at the stalemate position, and yes, Cloud9 on paper have the advantages. They have the better position. They have shock rifle. They have some utility such as repulsor, as we're seeing here for Spectre. But we're not seeing them able to secure these kills in these positions the way that before, where people are just being aggressive, forcing to make some action happen. Looks like Camel's going to be the next target here in 8 seconds, though.
I actually like this rotation because he was sticking around Snipe for a very long time, but you know that push is going to be coming here from loop side. And look at that. Cykul, he's got eyes on it. He wants to make a play over here toward posters. Mental Now they know where that sniper's going to be located. They cannot be overzealous here. But Sceptify able to get that kill. His camo picked up in time. Mental gets Sceptify in turn. This is just such a back and forth battle between both of these teams here. He's got the lane. Does anyone push this? He's only got one good shot to work with here. He's able to tag, but he's not able to collect. And that's Cykul walking away with that camo, but he's going to get hard targeted right out of the gate. 45-43, 2 kills remaining here. 46 make it. Now you got only a few kills here for Cloud9. Can they make this win happen? It was a potential reverse sweep by Shopify Rebellion, but instead we could be looking at a fake comeback instead if C9 managed to close this one out.
Yeah, and slowed back down it has. We do have a new shock rifle popping soon.
And Manny's in a good
that
spot.
Cloud9 are going to be able to get that one here in a couple seconds. So as time's been passing, it's been getting worse for Shopify. They need to find their opportunity when to push. That last time during the camo, they made a successful push, trade out a couple kills, and felt like it was best just to back down and not just make a chaotic situation for the very end of the game.
4 kills here for C9 to win.
Wow, SoulSnipe somehow
For
slipped.
Shopify Rebellion, though, look at this, the push coming in. He's able to get the trade, though. That's good enough.
Though, SoulSnipe, he's going to be able to sneak behind this sniper side. And there he's been spotted out.
Oh, he's
SoulSnipe now over at the U-turn.
Oh,
Who is Spector going for?
It was
many people.
Plentiful riches that were available to him, but he couldn't find the target he wanted. Again, tied game, 47-47 right now. And Sabinator, this is where things are going to get a little hectic here. This is where Shopify are going to show that experience on the main stage versus C9, having just picked up Manny. Granted, Manny, tons of experience on this side of the field here, but this is a team that's still trying to find that cohesion. 48-48 now. The trades are starting to come through, but we're looking to see an opportunity here for either one. Who is going to budge? Who is going to break in this high-octane situation here? As Suppress is going to be coming around the corner. Suspector's going to run up against him. He doesn't see him. He doesn't see him.
He saves his
49-49. He saves his teammate, but is it going to be enough, though? As Cykul's looking for that opening here, maybe to get that kill, but instead, it's going to be Manny who drops down, and he dies. That is a 50-49 nail-biter finish for Shopify Rebellion, but C9 had them on the ropes. But you know what? To quote one of the greatest poets of our time, Vin Diesel, it doesn't matter whether you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning, and Shopify Rebellion will walk away with that dub happily.
The Shopify Rebellion family going to be walking away with a win. As you said, a W is a W. They are not going to be dwelling on this throughout the rest of the tournament.
But C9 are dangerous, man.
Changed the whole, this could have been that butterfly effect that changed their whole tournament where they have a lower seed going into bracket. They have to play a harder team earlier, but all is well. They get the job done, and they get to breathe easy, and it's a 50-49 in
all is
game
well,
5.
Quotations, yeah. All is well. They get the win. But C9 most definitely shocked us all today with how they played. And if this is a C9 that we're going to see in this pool, everyone else better watch out because this team looks very, very scary. We'll be right back when we return. Plenty more Halo action right here at HCS Salt Lake City. See you then.